Oh Dan, grand finals time. We've been here before, once more into the fray. Bazaar CTF is going to be our first game, and they've seen these two teams have seen each other before here. So what way has it been?
It was quite a slapping from Cartel onto OEX. It was a 4-0. It really was a dominant performance, and we saw OEX struggle to get any sort of footing when it came to mid-control, pulling flags in general. It was all about the fact that Cartel were just pushing into that base, slaying, grabbing that flag, and getting it back to the base in quite a comfortable way as well. I know they didn't get the 5, but I think it's quite difficult of a map to get 5 anyway. Just getting 4 flags in general shows how dominant a performance it was from Cartel last week. But it's the rematch. It's a chance for OEX to show us what they're made of. They want to do better than 4-0 here on Bazaar CTF. It's another grand final filled with 2 of the best teams in Europe right now. And, you know, it's all about Cartel. Can they continue their fine run of form from Halo 5 into Halo Infinite?
It's grand finals, it's the classic, it's game 1 CTF on Bazaar, and TchiK has got the opening kill.
Yeah, already managed to get one perfect starting strategy and secures the overshield to boot. But Snipedrone is doing some work elsewhere. At least he's there, Fragxr, to shut down Lqgend. Otherwise, that might have been a little bit sticky of a situation with the 2 of them running off. But what we really saw OEX struggle with was just getting these power-ups in general. Getting rockets, getting overshield last week. But they've managed to secure both of them off the start here.
Secure both of them, and one man has managed to do that. TchiK, is he alone all by himself? Is he the only man on the map here for OEX? Got rockets, got overshield, doing the damage as well. And now they've got him spawning over towards that thruster pack, but unfortunately that push is just going to fall as Sica puts an end to that run.
Gotta be careful there. If you just leave yourself too vulnerable from various angles, you are going to be taken down. But we're seeing a heavy push from OEX now into this flag, and there is support there. They are going to be able to run it through tree if they would want. There are different angles you can take this flag here on Bazaar. You've really got to be kind of knowing of spawns, very aware that you can so easily overextend on this map if you spawn down in sewers.
This might be, in the last 2 games of CTF Bazaar that they've played against one another, the furthest that OEX have actually been able to pull the flag. NURIX, with that kill, turns it into a killing spree. Lqgend's going to hit the respawn screen. Shaady also goes down. This flag looking good. As I say that, though, it's going to get returned. One man there on hand to send it home and under the noses of OEX.
Yeah, so important the Snipedrone was able to do that. Otherwise, that could have been very detrimental, and we might have seen a 1-0 lead. And we do know that we've captured the flag Bazaar, even though this was a 4-0 between the last 2. A 1-0 lead can be absolutely everything in 2 teams who seem to be so closely contested. I think this is a different OEX that we saw last week. I don't expect to see so much of a dominant force from Cartel when it comes to this game time.
Okay then, Cartel's first foray forward on the map into the attacking side of OEX, into the base they got, but unfortunately that was shut down quite quickly as well. Sica gets a kill onto Fragxr. That's going to open up the map just a little bit as 2 members of OEX are scrambling. Make that 3. This should be a decent push with Sica getting a double kill and some early entry damage.
Nice kill there for Snipedrone as well, and now he will be able to throw this flag. This is my desired location to throw the flag, by the way, through bar, because it gives you 2 different avenues. Depending on how spawns are going, you can run it down here through sewers, maybe even grab a bulldog to go alongside things, and you can gain support. The alternative is you throw it top middle if you do see teams spawning down towards sewers and the trenches. But right now, Snipedrone just needs a bit of assist.
We've seen that so often, haven't we? Lqgend playing escort, the bodyguard goes ahead of the flag, making sure he can clear a path, pave the way. And we're seeing those sizzle sticks tether away though, and 4 dead now momentarily for Cartel. And that's going to mean no flag, and ultimately you might see some sort of flag pull of OEX's.
Yeah, even though Snipedrone was able to grab that flag, get it to a decent spot, it wasn't good enough because the rest of the team was top middle and they got slayed. Rockets are up as well. If they can grab these rocks as they're running this flag, it might lead to a capture, but it looks like it is OEX who have picked them up.
OEX have rockets, but Cartel have a man behind enemy lines. Flag pulled out for them on their side as well. Rockets are going to have to be used defensively here. 1 goes down. NURIX last man alive. He has got those rockets, and he might be all completely out of them. Where flag is going to get returned. We're going to be honors even for the moment, but both teams showing signs of life, but so far cancelling one another out.
Well, OEX are already looking 10 times better than they looked on this map last time these 2 guys faced against each other, these 2 teams faced up against each other. They're just having so much more control, and so much of that is coming from NURIX. 12 kills, 4 deaths. He's been on top of power-ups, he's been on top of those rockets, and it's made it very difficult for Cartel to gain that mid-control.
Bazaar can be so difficult to get that flag moving. It looks as though we have seen Overshield picked up by the boys on Cartel. What can they do with it? Looks like they're going to try and push into Treehouse. Those sizzle sticks go in, they tether away, snap, crackle and pop. Your shields are gone, Fragxr down. And he needs help now, does NURIX, because his teammates are spawning over towards this thruster pack. Have they got enough in the tank to defend? TchiK says yes. That's going to be enough to stop this push for the moment.
Yeah, both teams are, really struggling to actually get a full all four dead when they do pull the flag. And even if you do so, you need someone to be pushing and looking for spawns, whether that be in trenches, whether that be looking towards the thrust spawn. But off spawn, both teams have been successful at pushing out, overextending at the right times, and getting those returns, getting those big kills.
Okay then, 0-0, 0-0 on the scoreboard. Double kill though will help the cause of OEX. Make that 3 dead now. Shaady last man alive. They need to locate him if they can. Make sure he hasn't seeped through, and look at that, he has. He's pulled the flag just to be a little bit of a distraction. So there's a nuisance behind them, a thorn in the side, and it's the Frenchman Shaady who's got their flag. And it looks as though he's going to try and play a little bit sneaky under their thruster pack.
Yeah, he's going to try and be a distraction, as you say, but I think if OEX are wise to it, they'll try and accompany this flag and not send too many players back to try and get the return. They now know where that flag is, but Shaady, after being a nuisance and running this flag, did pick up a double kill.
Double kill for Shaady. Snipedrone with the bulldog in hand, sitting in and around that treehouse, tries to get that kill, but is shut down before he can get up ahead of steam. That flag is still out for OEX, so they need to get that sent home, or they risk going 1-0 down in the series, well, in the game at least. They are positioned over towards top rockets. They've got a full complement of players now, full 4 up. Hunting for a player. Looks as though SLG a little bit skeptical of the safety of this push. No players have leaked through for the moment. Snipedrone though, he is over towards this hut area and looking to wrap back for his treehouse.
Yeah, you want to be aggressive and get a kill here because the overshield's going to be popping. So you push ahead of the overshield ever so slightly, allow your teammates to grab that instead, but it's still there. It's still waiting. Neither team has been able to grab that one, and for good reason. I think both teams are trying to focus rockets at the same time. This is one of the most important parts in the game where both rockets and overshield are up.
Rocket's going to be huge. It looks as though the overshield has been pinched from somewhere. Has anybody been able to pop it into their chest, or has it been burned? We'll have to have a flick through the POVs at some point. NURIX though, he's going to go down. He's going to pay the price. Flags out on the move though. Shady's got it over towards the door. 4 members up for Cartel. This is looking good.
Was the overshield in the hands of Shaady as well, or the chest? A little bit of a fumble, but at least he's running this flag, and this might be the furthest we've seen any flag get. As long as he can get past those double doors, it might be a gap.
First blood then. 1-0 Cartel in this CTF on Bazaar. They go 1-0 up in the game. Level in the series. Shots go down as well towards SLG. Drops down towards the sewer to finish that one up. And TchiK, the last man alive now for OEX, and has it all to do.
Similarly to Aquarius capture the flag, Cartel just had better flag runs, and they've been able to get a successful pull there, running it just straight basic through bottom middle. They knew they had players down, they knew they had the player advantage, so they took the quickest route possible, and OEX didn't have an answer for it. They couldn't get off spawn, couldn't get the grenades to stop that flag. And now Cartel should be laughing at this point. This is more similar to how a Bazaar capture the flag game should go, where it's so difficult to get into a base and pull a flag. Those bases are like fortresses, especially with how aggressive those spawns can be on the thruster side of the map. You can gain so much map presence so quickly.
OEX were pushing forward with a little bit of menace in their eye, but it was shut down, as you see. Like Dan mentioned, Cartel playing full defense here, putting it on lock, making sure not to overextend and lose the first kill. And fortunately for them, the first kill, the first blood did go their way in that engagement. TchiK now in towards the bar, does not know, is unaware that player's behind them. Easy kill for Snipedrone. They play defense, and now the time starts to look a little bit against OEX. We're down now to under 4 minutes.
Yeah, Cartel can just slay a little bit here. They can hold the middle of the map. They only need to push up if they get really 3 down when they still have 4 alive. But otherwise, it's just about dominating this map. But look, they have managed to pull a flag. And 2-0, you'd think, would just kill off this game. But that is the risk of running it trench. You are so vulnerable to grenades and so vulnerable to spawns.
Cartel try as they might to put a little bit of breathing room between them and OEX, just to give them a little bit of a cushion. That if they do concede a flag, that they'll still be in the lead. Unfortunately, not able to do so, and they have overextended just a touch. 2 members up now, Shaady and Snipedrone, with Sica arriving very late. Bottom middle, a little bit of a skirmish as TchiK does fall. But Cartel, they don't look in trouble these last couple of minutes, so OEX are going to need to pick it up, whether it be with a rockets or with an overshield.
And they're somehow still losing, despite the fact that NURIX is currently going 23-11. The man is on an absolute tear, but Cartel have just had that one important pull as here comes Snipedrone, gets the double with one rocket, and this is what you got to do. Assert your dominance, just control the map, slay out OEX, don't allow them back in this game.
One rocket remaining. What can Snipedrone do with it? He's already gotten a good KDA with them. 2 kills, make that 3. Can he get this flag on the move? Can he get any spawners sent to the death screen? Opting not to pull the flag this time. He has a teammate to do that for him, and I like this from him. He's going to escort and help the flag get all the way back as he charges outside towards Bar. We're seeing now Sica coming back off the respawn to help his teammates as well, and looks as though OEX are all but willing to let this one go. They know there's no chance of stopping this. Cartel have gotten it all the way home. It's going to be 2-0 to Cartel, and barring a miracle, game set will be over towards Cartel.
You've got to be careful as well, because the overshield is popping, and you can see Legend's already in a position where he can cover this. SLG is going to be weak, and if this overshield does go into the hands of Cartel, you'd imagine that OEX are going to have very little chance of getting back into it. But TchiK is the one who actually picks up the overshield in the end. They need to be attacking pronto. If you are OEX, you need to take this 24-13 that NURIX is managing to achieve, these slays he's managing to find, and you need to start running some flags, because 1 minute 30 is not a lot of time. It takes a long time to get this flag across from one side to the other on Bazaar.
And as we say that, Cartel are actually the ones to apply the pressure. They're the ones moving another flag, and the sand is drifting through the glass. Not much of it left now to play with, and time waits for no man and also waits for no team. So OEX have it all to do with just over a minute left to play. Flag still to be sent home. And looking at it, SLG, Dan, his stats 9, 8 and 21 deaths. This hasn't been a good one for him.
This is not an SLG game that you are used to seeing. And the name's the wrong way round. Is he playing on someone else's account? I'm not used to seeing SLG with this kind of statistics. But, you know, 52 seconds, someone's got to dive into that base. Either that or you've given up by this point, because you've got to give yourself at least the chance of trying to get that flag on the run. Fragxr is going to be the first point of contact. He's got to get it moving.
Got to get it moving. Can he, though? Sica gets a kill onto SLG, and that's going to be misery compounded. Flag is finally out on the move. Fragger's got his hands on it, but needs to get moving and get moving quickly, because, like we say, time is not in their control. It's not of the essence. 2-0 down. This one's been defended very, very well. And Cartel looking cruise control.
Yeah, 20 seconds left, and I think OEX will just accept defeat at this point, because they would need to have the perfect run and have someone waiting to pick that flag up straight away on the sudden death. Cartel, it may not have been the dominant 4-0 that we saw last week when they competed here on Bazaar CTF, but it still was a strong performance. Even though NURIX has popped off with slays, on the other side, SLG has had a serious struggle bus. He has not enjoyed that game whatsoever. They got outslayed probably because of those statistics that he's dropped. And I think Cartel just had more control of the map in general, and their flag runs were far more successful.
Was that one of those situations, Dan? We talked about it last week, when you're dying so much, and every time you spawn up, you realize exactly what position you're in. You're putting your team at risk, and you think, I need to do something special in this next life. You die again. Okay, special in this next life. You keep over pushing it, and what happens is you keep on dying. And we're taking a look at the stats there. Snipedrone 22 kills, Sica with 25, but NURIX putting down 26 kills. He just needs the help of the likes of Fragxr and SLG, who just had a game to forget. But on the flip side of that, Cartel looked very, very comfortable, barring a couple of flag runs that made it over the halfway point.
I will say it time and time again, the man is insane with any weapon you put in his hand.
I'm pretty sure SLG is the only man in Europe that has had his name chanted. I remember at the Wembley Arena, SLG, where the chants rang around the stadium when he had the sniper rifle in his hand, when he was hitting shots left, right and center and just putting people in the grave. He's got it all to do here. Game 2 of your grand finals in this best of 5. We're underway here. Starting strats go down, and Cartel are the ones to draw first blood.
I can only dream of Rally with the thousands of spectators after selling out, just hearing SLG ring through that arena. But they've got to get there first. And even though they've put themselves in a fantastic position with the points they've accumulated in these first 2, it's still not done just yet. But I imagine they will be there, and I really hope they will as well. OEX in the early stages have not found those kills we were talking about. We talk about getting to a flying start, Shaady, but it's Cartel who have got the opening frags.
Damage control then. Camouflage on board with Lqgend. Heatwave also in control of Cartel. The Slays are tipping over in their favor as well. 7 kills to 3. Heatwave now going down. Melee goes through. It's going to be a trade, and that's huge if you are NURIX, because you were down in that fight, particularly close range against the Heatwave. So good display out of him, but 10 kills to 4. And Cartel, they're already heating up, and that's not what you want to see.
Get the Heatwave, get the Dynamo Grenades, use everything that can give you an advantage in the fights. There is so much utility on the map that can just push you over that edge and give you that little bit that you need to win any sort of fight. And at the moment, a 14-6 is not the start that OEX were looking for. It's not that confidence booster we were saying they so desperately needed. And for Cartel, they cannot afford to stop this pressure, right? They need to continuously rotate as a team, allow Snipedrone to keep on fighting. Does go down, doesn't get the triple. Fragxr had to shut him down there, otherwise that could have been terrifying.
And now looking at it, we spoke about it pre-game. SLG needs to get off to a fast start. He hasn't. 1 kill, 5 deaths. We talked about needing to shut down Snipedrone nice and early. 6 kills, 3 deaths. It's gone exactly the opposite way you wanted to go of your OEX. And Cartel are looking very, very good. 19, make that 20 kills to 11. And we're going to see another camouflage.
Look how difficult Cartel make it for OEX to get any kills. They will sprint away, they will run around every single corner, they will force OEX to come off of any sort of priority position they find, but that's a massive kill from SLG, spotting out the camo, it being a sneaky beaver hiding in the corner.
How has he managed to spot him out? My old eyes are definitely not seeing that. Gotta go to Specsavers if you want to see those sorts of things. A little bit of pixel, a shimmer in the wind he might have seen. That was enough to spot out Sica, and what a kill that could be in turning the tide. But unfortunately, they're down by 9 kills, so maybe it stops Cartel's pressure for a moment.
Yeah, just for a moment, but look at the kill feed. Every single time, it's red killing blue. It's Cartel taking down OEX, but TchiK answers back against Lqgend. And now they need to be rotating as a unit. They need to be pushing as twos. We can't see too much individual play from OEX. If they're too low, if they're just running around bottom middle, they are going to leave themselves vulnerable to giving up too much map control to Cartel here.
Now then, ahead by 10 or so kills. Momentum very much in their favor for Cartel. And it hasn't gone the way you would expect, or the way you would hope for OEX, particularly in the early engagements. 29-17 now. Game 2, very much tipping over. The pendulum is swinging towards Cartel, but what can OEX do to answer back here? TchiK has been hitting some big shots. NURIX is taking down Shaady. Could this be the start to something special?
If you're OEX, off spawn, find a teammate, because if you don't, there's going to be 2 members of Cartel hurtling around the corner to take you down. Cartel, as soon as they get a sniff of a player on their own and they can get a 2 versus 1 advantage, they are there, they are waiting, and they will pounce and strike. So you've just got to find a teammate and partner up.
That's what we're seeing now over towards this closet area, starting to partner up, starting to play tag team. Fragxr has managed to secure that kill for his team, and now they're within 4. All of a sudden, they're within striking distance, and this next camouflage, this midway point, can be huge.
That's because OEX just slowed Cartel down ever so slightly. Cartel were just running around the map freely, and then OEX said, hey, wait a minute, if we just bound together, if we wait off spawn to the point where 3 or 4 of us can get in close proximity, maybe we can do a job here.
And things were starting to look good there as SLG picked up the camouflage, picked up the heat wave, got himself a couple of kills. But that grenade spins up, hits him in the visor, takes him down before he can get anything else on the scoreboard for his team. But they're starting to show signs of life now, down to within 5 kills. This deficit cut in half. 34 kills to 29. And still a bit of breathing room between the teams, but they're starting to push now. Cartel coming through closet door.
Just can't give away too many easy deaths at this point if you're OEX. But as I say that, 1, 2, 3 drop like flies. Make that 1 kill. More. Cartel and Sica looking to try and assert their dominance here on map 2.
Sica starting to feel himself, getting jiggy with it. Puts down 3 kills. TchiK, the last man alive now for OEX. Momentum has shifted back the other way once more. Pendulum swings back towards Cartel's court. They're ahead by 10 again. They only need 9 kills. Make that 7. Could be 6. Isn't, though. Importantly, game 2 could very well be edging over towards Cartel.
Yeah, if you're OEX here, you're probably struggling to actually push out. And look how split they are. They're everywhere. Finally, they're able to regain a little bit of kind of just structure about them, but it's not going to work out too well because after every corner, you turn around and suddenly a member of Cartel is there waiting for you like a bouncer at a nightclub, not going to let you in.
Not tonight, lads. Cartel are saying here, we will not lose this player once more. 47 to 35. They can just trade it out. They can almost trade 1 for 2s at this point. Double kill, though. Not going to need to. NURIX was the last man alive. He was never going to be able to get anything done. Game 2 goes towards Cartel. 50 to 37. What an impressive performance that was from the Frenchman.
Exactly the opposite of what, yeah, exactly the opposite of what we said we needed to see for these teams to succeed or not succeed, right? Snipedrone, we said you have to shut him down. You can't allow him to go on a tear. Straight away, he was getting kill after kill. He found himself a heat wave, and he didn't even have to speak to the French lads. He said, lads, you start communicating in your own language. I'll do my own thing. Just make sure you're on point and you're covering me, and we will be fine. On the side of OEX, SLG did have a slow start. He ends up going -6. Fragxr also having a pretty poor game by his standard. Now, I know it's very difficult when you're going up against Cartel, who are the best team in Europe right now. I think OEX know that just from the games that they've lost against them. But you still just got to play your life that little bit better. When you look at the difference between these two teams, it was survivability. Every single time you were on board with a Cartel player, head was down, they were running around the corner on one shot after they managed to get a kill, and they were surviving. Whereas for OEX, they were getting taken down. They always seemed to be a grenade at their feet, or they always seemed to find yet another Cartel player around the corner who was waiting to finish off that kill.
It's against the grain for them. And you look at Cartel, not one of them has been having a misplay. Not one of them has been having an underperformed. They're all cooking, and they're all singing from the same hymn sheet.
I think if you can shut down NURIX here as well, then this game is going to be even more comfortable, because NURIX has been that one player for OEX who is still slaying hard against this Cartel roster, and he's probably asking the rest of the team, hey guys, why can't you keep up? Why aren't you getting the kills? How am I finding this so easy? But you guys aren't. But alas, OEX, they need to find something here in game number 3.
Game 3 of Grand Finals, baby. OEX, will they go gentle into that good night, or do they have a little bit more fight in them? We're going to soon find out as engagements go down. But Shaady and NURIX have traded out 1 for 1. Momentarily, though, numbers advantage for OEX. But will that transition, will that translate into Oddball time?
Oh, SLG falls as well. So Cartel just trying to assert their dominance with the early frags, taking advantage of the players that they've still got up. They've got numbers, and they're looking to try and grab that ball. But unfortunately, it has moved to a pretty awkward spot. Instead, we're going to see now just a slay-off, really. And the first frag may just tell the story here of who's going to pick up that ball first. Snipedrone is in a little bit of a scuffle. Oh my god, how does Snipedrone win that one?
Bip bap bam, Snipedrone says goodnight, puts that player to the respawn screen. And now we're going to see the ball respawn back over towards that battery area, and it's in the neck of the woods. It's in Cartel's front garden as you see them positioned over towards top yellow. And I fear for this, we could have a pipe set up very shortly.
Yeah, a pipe setup that could very quickly get out of hand, but they've decided because the spawners are over towards Attic, over towards that yellow area, instead they fancy a little trip to the elevator. Get the music playing, get comfortable as you can jump from bottom elevator to top elevator here. And that is some questionable elevator music, it has to be said.
It's elevator music. What do you want from me? It has to listen, right? We don't want to be getting NDA takedown here. What do you want from me here?
That is true.
But anyway, all the more camo will be up very shortly, but we do have Lqgend with the ball. He's going to throw it off, which he does. We should have already seen camo grabbed by somebody, unless these teams aren't gotten their heads on a swivel. We will see very shortly. 29 seconds for Cartel. There is camouflage with an 8-second timer. These two teams trade back and forth, but early scores, 29 seconds now. OEX have the ball, but what can they do with it? Can they set up around it?
Just one small thing I noticed there from Cartel, when they played that ball, a lot of teams just kind of dive off with the ball, get an extra second, look towards the ground and accept their death. Not for Cartel. They throw that ball, they turn around, they do a 360 and they do damage. Just those little small things that could really make or break a team fight that's going to happen a little bit later. There's the camo you were desperately searching for, and it's going to end up in a double, Richie.
Double kill, Mangler in hand as well, and what a punch that packs. If you can get one shot into a body and finish it off with a melee, that's going to be 3 kills from this 1 life from Shaady. Still has the Mangler in his hand. Camouflage is up, but he's gotten decent reward out of it.
Yeah, decent is one way to look at it. There's going to be so much ball time accumulated here for Cartel. And for OEX, they've been sending one player to try and actually break this setup. And yet again, there's one player on his own trying to get behind. It's worked out on this occasion, though. It's NURIX who's going to be able to play this if he wants to, but it looks like the rest of the team are actually going to be joining him. So he was the distraction, and then the rest of OEX came hurtling towards Cartel. It worked out pretty well.
Pretty well indeed. Still have the ball. Scoring all the while. 3 members down for... or 3 members up for both teams, excuse me. Sica, though, just sends another one to an early grave. And it's going to be Fragxr, the last man alive. Ball, though, has already been played in the meantime. So we're going to reset for a moment. Score separated now by 27 seconds. So still very much in the balance. And we've already seen when you get that setup down, you can amount time and you very quickly.
Our shots from SLG, but if SLG does find himself a little bit vulnerable here and gets hit by a nade, then that would be very bad indeed. And he decides to go for the shot rifle. I think once you've given your position away there in pipes, then of course people are going to be expecting you to be jumping out. But perhaps SLG felt like the shot rifle could really make a difference here in this game.
Oddball then down towards pipes. Nobody really positioned to get their hands on it. Grapple in the hands of Shaady. We've already seen him perform in some madnesses, and he's trying to do it once again. Can he clamber? Yes, he can. Gets the melee. And for some reason, and somehow, he's managed to get that trade when he really had no right to. 3 members down now for OEX, and more points start to amount for Cartel. And with every waking point, with every second that passes, it's pain in OEX's hearts.
Oh, Fragxr's just fallen as well. When SLG had gone down originally and OEX really needed to wait for SLG to spawn before they could actually push as a unit. But Cartel are relentless. They're not just sitting in pipes, by the way, like many normal teams would just go for. They are pushing out. They're looking to slay OEX. They're trying to kill them off spawn. SLG gets hit by another nade. And they're up to 78 points now, our Cartel. They're so difficult to play against. You can't expect them to play a certain way, because as soon as you do, they switch things up.
OEX, how they could desperately need to switch some things up, get some score on the board, get some kills registered. Lqgend, though, in a 1v1. SLG, try as he might, try to turn the tides of that battle. Unfortunately, not able to do so. Sica, though, looking at the scores, 3 kills, 11 deaths, but somehow his team up by a considerable margin. They've been able to slay around him as he's taken only 3 seconds of ball time. So a slow game for him in comparison. You normally see players when they have so little deaths or so little kills, okay, maybe they have the ball, but not this time. But now we're going to see 3 members down momentarily for OEX, and all the things, all the ingredients are just, again, pushing towards Cartel, and they only need 15 more seconds, Dan, to secure this game 3.
One thing I will say, 7 assists on the side of Sica, so he is at least doing something for the team. But round 1, very close to being secured by Cartel here. And are OEX in a position? No, they are not. Well, actually, I tell a lie. It's going to be 98 to 42, so there's still a slim chance of OEX getting back into this round.
Slim chance. So you're telling me there's a chance?
I'm telling you there's a chance.
Set up towards Turbine, couple of kills go down. NURIX takes that player down to no shields, turns 1 into 2, and maybe this could be the catalyst for change. He is shut down eventually. Is there teammates around to support him? Yes, there is. Can they get their hands on the ball? Because time is only a minute left in the clock. They're going to need to play perfect Halo to secure this round.
Yeah, you've got to hold onto the ball as much as you can at this point, because every time you drop it, that time is going to start to tick away from you. But they have got a setup here. For the first time, we see OEX with a setup that could get them some serious time, but Shaady trying to do his best to push in. Not going to work out. Cartel lose 3.
The setup has come late in the day, but better late than never, you will be saying.
Oh,
nobody got hands on the ball right now. It has dropped down towards bottom batteries. That's in a perilous position for anybody who wants to put their hands on it. Snipedrone in a very awkward fight here, looking up towards NURIX. NURIX thinking the better of it and deciding, okay, there's no point in getting this kill. It's a bit pointless for now. He's going to put his hands on the ball. 40 seconds left in the clock. But Cartel still only need 2, and 4 members still left to need some help.
Wow, 4 were dead temporarily for Cartel. The position that OEX find themselves in, though, is they have to hold on to the ball, but if Cartel look like they have any chance of picking it up from them, they need to play it, because they can't afford to give them those 2 seconds. So that's why we saw the ball tossed out towards top middle. Even though there's only 35 seconds left, OEX have to play this a very particular way, and with only 1 player left here, you'd imagine Cartel have got enough.
Ball in hands, time will tick over. That's going to be round 1 of game 3. Towards Cartel. They need 1 more round. They're on match point. OEX backs to the walls. They're on the ropes.
Very important start here for OEX. You've got to get started hot, but TchiK falling to Shaady. At least we'll get the trade. The camo could be pretty influential here, but it's gone into the hands of Snipedrone.
Snipedrone gets one with help. That's 2 members down now for OEX, and Snipedrone and Shaady, the last 2 members left, but they've only got TchiK and Fragxr to play with right now. We will see both teams back to a full composition very shortly. Snipedrone trying to use that camouflage, has secured that kill onto Fragxr as well. Downloading information all the while in this fight with SLG. Also gets that one. We're seeing a double kill there. Has SLG overplayed? What was his line of thinking there? Do you think I need to eliminate this camo player?
Sometimes you just got to eliminate a Snipedrone, I think, but it hasn't worked out indeed. But still no seconds scored on either side right now.
Still all to play for then. Game's shaking out. Both teams just trying to feel one another out, trying to get some rhythm. Slays back and forth. It's a little bit scrappy at the moment. When the Cartel would prefer this to be Scooby. Ball picked up though by OEX. 3 members still up. This should be the start of something new, a start of a setup. They just clear this player out, Shaady out in pipes. He's seen that nade. He knows there's a player located there. He needs to communicate that to his teammates. But unfortunately, they're all a little bit separated from him. He hasn't got the help that he might need if this push does come through, and it does. Snipedrone, though, will get taken down, not before a nade hits the floor as well to take one another out. The points starting to tick up now for Cartel. That whole setup they had in yellow pipe stand, they only managed to get 14 seconds.
Yeah, which isn't really enough for a yellow pipe setup. You'd expect to get a little bit more, which says a lot about Cartel and how good they are at breaking those setups. When I was talking about them earlier, talking about how they struggled a little bit in Slayers. In objectives, they just seem to know how to work together to break those setups, to not allow other teams to gain too much control. Camo is coming up, though. If OEX can grab that, that might give them just that extra little footing they need here in this game.
Camouflage has been secured this time by Fragxr. Shots down to help his teammate take out Sica. But can they build upon this now? Looks over towards that sword door. Does take down Lqgend, positioned over towards long haul. Starting to transition his way now. Over catwalk. And in towards control. Slowing down for a moment as he did receive those shots. He's going to have the information. 2 shots and a beatdown, but unfortunately that life didn't get much value out of it. And seconds on the board, only 3 or 4.
Well, SLG trying to milk a little bit just to get OEX back on level pegging with Cartel in terms of score. Still 3 minutes remaining, still plenty of time to work with between these 2 teams. But Cartel just really want to get one of the setups that they found in the previous round and in the previous games they've played against OEX. But one thing OEX have done better is not allowing Cartel to get that solid setup. They've always got them at least 1 down when that ball has been grabbed, and some fantastic grenades there to, again, not allow that ball to get into one of the dangerous areas.
Highway to the danger zone. Grenades got sent in, nuked the ball, and that will drop it down. The map will be reset for a moment, though. Lqgend has now started to put the ball in his hands, and every single second that they start to amount now will just put pressure on OEX. They know their tournament life is on the line, and one misstep here could mean they lose grand finals.
It's a slightly better round for Fragxr, though. He's winning his individual fights more often than he has done in the previous couple of games, and that's important for OEX. Win your individual fights, and then you can focus on the objective at the same time. As a big grenade coming out there to take out TchiK. For Cartel, I mean, they'll be looking at this time, they'll be looking at this 2 minutes and say, hey, look, one more setup here, and we can probably just play Slayer from that point and lock OEX out of this game and push ourselves to become champions once more.
Important to note as well, only 2 minutes left now. Ball has been reset. Camouflage is there for the taking for any team brave enough to put their hands on it. Looks as though Cartel are in an ideal spot to pick it up. And we're seeing Lqgend pick up that rifle as well to put down those long distance shots. And we see Sica back down into towards sword, not looking to get involved in that fight. Lqgend though gets 2 off the beaten track. That's going to be enough to put some ball time now. He has the help of his teammate. Snipedrone slides it in towards Turbine, opting to play his life on battery instead. Looks as though Snipedrone's pulled rank and said, Lqgend, you're playing ball.
Amazing, though, that both of them on no shield sliding towards that ball, recognizing players were down from OEX. That is commitment at its very finest. Knowing you put yourself at risk to potentially get shot from across map, but knowing how important it is to get some ball time here and now whilst other players are down.
Needs to hit these shots here, though. It could flip things, and unfortunately Lqgend is unable to land the all-important shots that he needed to. Ball in the hand. I love this from SLG. Milking that time, allowing his teammate, having trust, knowing that he will be the man that gets support around him. Snipedrone, though, does manage to trade that out, and that could be big enough just to stop any amount of time being hit on the board for OEX. 56 seconds now to 30 in our Game 3 Grand Finals. And OEX still have it all to do, but they're within touching distance. 1 or 2 setups, but there's not many mistakes left in them now with 1 minute left in the clock and some change.
And I'm wondering, are we going to finally see a team play for time here? I've said that teams can play this way if they would like. Once you are up a considerable amount and there is very minimal time on the clock, you can just turn it into a Slayer game. But TchiK saying, I'm not going to allow that to happen. I'm going to grab that ball from a disadvantaged place. I'm going to try and bring it to my team. But look at Cartel swarming him. They're not allowing OEX to have any time whatsoever.
The Cartel collapse comes and they dismantle any hopes they had of getting any more time on the board. And they're doing just what you said, Dan. 4 shots with the undo trois cat. Perfect shots all connect from Sica. Lovely stuff from him. Shaady, though, he's going for that camouflage once more. He's going to pop that into his chest. Waiting for his shields to go back, but he has lost his life. That could be huge.
Ball still in possession, but quite rightly so. Snipedrone recognizing the danger and playing that ball. This is what you've got to do as much as possible now if you're Cartel. You've only got 33 seconds left and you have a 30-second lead. And yes, okay, the timer will pause every time, but you can literally just defend this ball at this point. Play Slayer, keep OEX on the spawn. They don't need to touch the ball right now, but they are going to play that way. They are instead saying, hey, look, let's maybe just move this ball slightly. And look, they're not touching the ball. Finally, we're seeing someone play this way. This is what I've wanted. They only need to defend the ball for 13 seconds. OEX have 1 push left in them.
Cartel don't need the ball. They just need to stop you touching it. We're down to within 5 seconds. No members seem to be close enough. SLG is trying to make a fist of it to get close to that ball. He's not going to be able to. Cartel are going to be your grand champions here of EU Open Cup 2. What a performance from them.
I'm so happy that someone's finally done it. I've been saying time and time again over these last 2 weeks, you do not need to pick up the ball when you have that advantage, when there's such little time left. Just keep the other team off the ball. Cartel, with the amazing brains they have, recognizing that, playing it correctly, and ensuring they dominate this series 3-0. It is still a Cartel world. We are all just living in it. And OEX, even though they came close in that winners bracket final, Shaady, the grand final, it was a bit of a blowout.
A bit of a blowout indeed. You feared for them and you feared the worst when the Slayer didn't go their way, and you see why. They close it out a quick, clean sweep, 3-0 in grand finals. They've looked so good. Flawless at times have Cartel. They've done it again. The back-to-back champions, and Snipedrone's had another one of those games.